Hey everyone, welcome back to Building Success, where we focus on leveling up your life one skill at a time. I'm your host, Stephen Cofer, and today we're going to tackle a topic some people love, some people hate, but I guarantee you're going to get something out of it. We're going to talk about budgeting. Now trust me, if you've ever wondered why your bank account looks like it's ghosting you, then this video is for you. Budgeting might sound like it's about as exciting as watching paint dry, but trust me, stick with me and by the end of this video, you'll be a financial rock star. And hey, if I can lead multi-million-dollar engineering teams by day, we can work through your personal budget together. Why does budgeting even matter? It doesn't only just matter, it is essential. It isn't just about saying no to the expensive lattes or the avocado toast, but now that I think about it, all those strawberry acai refreshers at $7 a piece probably add up pretty quickly. Budgeting gives you control. Think of your life like you're the CEO and you need to tell your money what it needs to do for you. Imagine if you ran your life like a business where every dollar has a job. And if you don't tell your money where to go, it's going to disappear faster than your Wi-Fi in a Zoom meeting. All right, let's dig into the numbers. Step 1, let's figure out where your money is going. So start out by pulling up your bank statements, whether that's online or on paper. Grab a pen and start writing down where the money is going. This might feel like it's time to face the music. So what are you spending your money on? Mortgage or rent? Are you spending it on your groceries? Transportation expenses? If you've never sat down to actually take inventory of your spending, then now's the time to do it. Here's a quick story. Back when I was starting budgeting, I thought I knew where my money was going. But it wasn't until I actually laid it all out, I put it in a spreadsheet, that I realized exactly where it was going. At first, it felt like a reality check that hit me pretty hard, but I'm really glad I did it, and you can do it too. Step 2, set a realistic budget. Now that we know where the money is going, it's time to set limits. And no, I'm not saying you have to cut out all your personal fun. Personally, I'm a saver, and I find it's really helpful to actually budget money to go and have fun. A good budget is going to balance your necessities, your discretionary spending, and investing. I like to use the 50-30-20 rule. This says that 50% of your income should be used on necessary expenses, 30% on discretionary spending, and then 20% on investing or saving or paying off debt, depending on your situation. I thought it might be helpful to you if I laid out some of my expenses that I include in my budget, so as you're going through yours, it'll give you some ideas of the types of things that maybe you even forgot about and maybe you want to include it in yours. So I'll start with 50% or the necessary expenses or the needs. Payroll taxes, groceries, mortgage, healthcare or insurance costs, loans, auto insurance, electric, natural gas, sewer, internet, garbage collection. All of those things fall under the category of necessary expenses. Then onto the 30% of your income that you should use for discretionary spending. This is where I include shopping, right? Amazon, Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, things like that I would consider discretionary. Your car payment, I would consider that discretionary as well, because you might argue that and say, well, everybody needs a car. It's not really optional. But does everybody need a car payment, or could you get away driving a beater car around? Gasoline, eating out, church giving, cell phone payments. I have a motorcycle, so I have a motorcycle payment. Pet food and supplies, life insurance costs, clothing, haircuts, vet bills, pet grooming. And then there's the subscriptions. There's Spotify, Netflix, Max, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Hulu, gym memberships, so like your Planet Fitness. I use Amazon Prime, so there's an Amazon Prime membership fee. I like using Microsoft OneDrive for file storage, so there's a fee associated with that. For the big box stores, we use Sam's Club, so there's a membership fee for that as well. So the last 20%, that's for savings or investing or paying off debt. So that could include your 401k deposits if your employer offers a 401k. Could include a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. Or lastly, stocks or other investments that you're interested in. Now for a pro tip. I recommend contacting some of your service companies at least once a year to see about lowering your bills. We've saved hundreds of dollars per year by just simply making a phone call. A 5-minute phone call can save you hundreds of dollars each year. Just recently, we cut our garbage collection bill in half. There was a new service offered in town, and we called up our existing provider and said, "Hey, there's a new place around town. We're interested in them. Their prices are half of yours." Even though we were happy with the existing service we had, and they said, "All right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll match their price." So no questions asked, and basically cut the bill right in half. Similarly, internet service providers are notorious for offering lower prices or better performance and not notifying the customers to let them know that the better service or the lower prices are available. Just recently, we called our internet service provider, and as a result, we've increased the speed of our internet downloads by 10 times, and we've reduced the bill at the same time. So I think just taking a little bit of time to go and do that, you could probably experience some of the same results. All right, now let's talk about tools. Call me old school, but I still like using Microsoft Excel. But there are some pretty slick apps out there now that people can use for budgeting. Mint is one popular one. Another one is YNAB. You Need a Budget. And I'm definitely interested in learning more about those and maybe potentially getting away from Excel in the future. Looks like just for a nominal monthly fee, you can leverage a whole bunch of resources that will help you budget your money and stay on track. There are also other free options, so Google Sheets might be a good one for you as well. When I lead engineering teams, I rely on tools to help keep my programs on track. So just like you would in that scenario, I encourage you to leverage a tool to keep your finances on track. Now, it's important to remember a tool is just that. It's just a tool. Don't be a slave to the tool. I don't think you necessarily need to be monitoring progress hourly or daily or anything like that. But, on a regular basis, I think you do want to keep track of how you're doing against your financial goals. Step 3, emergency fund. So quick quiz, what's the first thing you should save for? Well, if you said emergency fund, I would agree with you. I think it's important to have we'll call it a rainy day fund, just for those circumstances where life happens. Cars break down, you drop your phone and it smashes or stops working. It's inevitable that unexpected expenses are going to pop up. So how much of an emergency fund do you really need? Well, that's debatable, but I know Dave Ramsey, the financial coach, recommends $1,000 to get things started. And it depends on your personal situation, but general guidelines would be around 3 to 6 months of your expenses in an emergency fund. And you want to keep this emergency fund liquid, right? So I would suggest in a savings account. Don't necessarily tie it up in stocks or bonds or anything like that that are less liquid. But even a high yield savings account would be a good place to stash your emergency fund away. And now your emergency fund needs to be respected and kept just in case of emergency. So, if you're thinking, hey, this snow is getting old, I really need a trip to Cancun. No, that's not the best use of your emergency fund. Keep it there for rainy days. Step 4, track progress and adjust. So I think it's important to think of your budget as a living document. By keeping it evergreen, it can adjust to your life changes. Hopefully you're getting some regular raises or promotions at your job. As your life circumstances change, so should your budget. I like to check in on my budget at least monthly. I would recommend weekly, monthly, at minimum quarterly would be a good cadence to check in on your budget. And if you overspend one month, don't beat yourself up. Just pick yourself up and say, you know what, I'm going to try to do better next time. One of the things that helps keep me on track is that my bank's website, in the online banking portion, allows you to export a CSV file of all your expenses. And it's nice because it tracks the expense type for you, the amount, and things like that, which makes it really nice if you know a thing or two about Excel, how to pull it in and be able to sort through your data. I think it's really helpful to kind of do a end of the year financial health check. Usually I do that right toward the end of December, where I go through all the expenses and just make sure, okay, am I spending what I expected or what I budgeted for food or transportation or any of those other categories. It's really handy to have all that data right there at your fingertips. So I would encourage you to check with your bank or financial institution and see if you have a similar feature as that. And then just take the time to do it. It doesn't take long. Go to their website, go to your account, pick out your date range, export that CSV file, pull it up in Excel, and start going through it and see if it makes sense. All right, that's our crash course on budgeting for beginners. Remember, budgeting isn't about restrictions or killing your joy. It's about taking control of your finances and telling your money where to go in a way that aligns with your values and your goals. Rather than thinking of budgeting as restricting, think of it as enabling you to, in the future, be able to do the things that are important to you and your family, and money is a tool to help get you there. I hope this video helped. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends if there's anybody that you know that could use some help creating a budget. What is your favorite budgeting tip? Drop it in the comments below. Or tell us, what is your most ridiculous spending mistake? Let's learn and grow together. See you next time.